Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can continue getting the tea when I post it. Those of you who aren't getting my notifications, just make sure you check at least once or twice a week so you can make sure you see the reviews I post because I'm back online and I'm being a little bit more consistent than before since my kids are a little bit older now. This is the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13, Episode 1 review. Let's get into the juice. But right before we get into the juice, real quick, let me just give you all the tea. So I have a few books that I have posted on both Amazon, Kindle and paperback available. And I also have one for digital download that you could just pay it, download it, and it'll be accessible to you within seconds. You have Co-Parenting After the Break, From Deed to Deed, Dream to Deed for those of you who are looking to purchase a home in the future or you're a first-time buyer, you want all the information. I have all that available. However, the most important one I circled on the side is the day trading one, right? How to start day trading with just $100. I say this to say because this is a book that'll help you make some money. Now, some of you don't want to read, and unfortunately, that's the only way you're going to get where you need to get. However, this is what it is. If you want to keep making money, you're going to have to read. Now, on Tuesday, I traded a particular stock. If you see it in blue, that stock ticker, if you look it up, was PROK. When I saw the stock, it was at 4 a.m. in the morning because I'm up that early, y'all, because I have kids and I'm doing my own work. I saw it at 84 cents a share. Now, if you would have put just $100 into this particular stock, it we would have purchased 119 shares. Now, mind you, around about 7 a.m. in the morning, after the market had already opened regular market, it jumped to $2.33 before the first pause. You would have made $277, or at least $177. So you would have more than doubled your money. Now, if you would have held out after the pause and purchased it again, it had gone up to $2.75. At that point, you would have doubled your money because you would have ended up with $327.25. Then by the end of the stock market day, around 12:30 to 1, that stock had gone up to $4.70. At this point, you would have got ended up with $558, and all you need to do was put $100 in there. For those of you who were brave, if you put $1,000 in there off to the side, you would have got 1,190 shares of the stock at $2.33, selling it in the morning at 7 a.m. You would have ended up with 2,772. So you would have almost tripled your money. Then you had almost doubled your money. Then you had, if you waited after the pause and sold it at $2.75, then you would have had $3,272. If you would have held out till 12:30 to 1 in the afternoon, then it would have been $5,593 you were left with. Look it up. The stock ticker is PROK. I traded it on the 8th. I'm just letting you know this is what it looks like. Now, for those of you who don't want to read the book, I am a life coach for entrepreneurs. Go ahead and go to the website ICS Life Coaching and do set up a Zoom call with me, and I can go ahead and start teaching you there if you're interested. But I think it's better for you guys to read the book because you can always refer back to your notes. All right, let's get into it. Forgive my voice because I'm not feeling well. I have a little bit of a cold. And no, my face is not going to be in this particular review because I'm getting my hair done tonight and I just don't look a hot mess and I'm not going to go ahead and do all that. But I love y'all though. So the episode starts off, first of all, with some music, some actual hip hop music that is with all the cast members. You see Jock there, you see Spice there. Rasheeda's bar was a hot ass miss. Rasheeda's bar, if y'all were paying attention at the beginning of the show, she said something like that she don't, I'm gonna read it exactly how she said it because I think I took some notes on here so y'all can hear this. And this was the bar that she said. She said, "Y'all can pop your shit, but I ain't leaving Kirk." I'm sitting there like, did this girl just say it out loud? Y'all can pop your shit, but I ain't leaving Kirk. First of all, if you're never gonna leave Kirk, that's okay. But I would not make that or voice that because you don't know if he's gonna go and have another kid by somebody else in the near future. And you're gonna sit there and say that you're not gonna leave this man because he's convinced that no matter what he does to you, you're gonna stay there, even if he has several babies with several different strippers and hookers and whoever he chooses. So you sitting up here saying this like it's a bar. And I see social media people writing about it. Like this girl just went and that was her bar. Her main bar was that y'all can pop your shit, but I ain't never leaving Kirk. Girl, if that's your choice, then that's up to you. But I just wouldn't let that, I wouldn't have said something like that. But we get into the first scene and we see that Jock is getting his award in Atlanta for community service. And this is one of the first few times you're going to see Jock on this franchise where he's not being accused of cheating on Kendra or cheating on Sin or KD or Karlie or anything. This is the positive thing where he is on TV because he did something great for the community and he's doing something great for the community and for people who are in his position and all his kids. got up there on that stage to support him, and I was very proud of him because no matter how many kids they didn't have with the whole group, he still seems to be an involved parent, and he has improved. If y'all go back and look at Jock's behavior from the previous seasons until now, Jock has significantly grown. Time has matured him, and I do feel like his relationship with Kendra does help him grow. I just don't want to keep hearing her shouting at him, Jaciel, Jaciel, Jaciel. I'm over hearing that shit. But all the dudes came out there. Zayn was there, Scrappy was there, and then he's saying his, 1, 2 is going down, and everybody was just, enjoying it. You got I don't know if it was the mayor or who it is of Atlanta, and that they're doing the dance with him too. Jock is definitely going to be influential if he keeps this going. So I thought that was great. Then we get to this imagined block party where it's Rennie, Zayn, and his wife, whose name I can't remember right now. Kendra, maybe that might be her name. I don't remember for sure. And then you have Jessica there. And Jessica, I don't understand her claim to hip hop while she's on the show. And she seems more cynical and bitter to me whenever she talks. Is always some issue with somebody's man, and she's always trying to point that out. I know Nick Cannon broke her heart, but it makes her very bitter. I don't think that she's healed from that. But they're discussing certain things about the drama and what's going on. And then you see Sierra with her man walk in with Jock and Kendra. Sierra ignores Rennie, and she said that she don't like Rennie, or she's not talking to Rennie because Rennie said that she's just a TV friend. But several people didn't say that about Sierra, that Sierra is just a TV friend, that she's not really a real friend, and she doesn't show up for people like she expects them to show up for her. So it ain't news. But for her to walk in and she was expecting to be Rennie's child's godmother, arguing for to be the godmother, and she's not going to talk to you at all. That shit don't make no damn sense. But there's been some issue with Rennie with her man Black Zach and the paternity question of the baby based on some rap music that came out. And I'm gonna address that later. But this entire block party, or what it seemed to be like a block party, was just to get some of the cast members together or to reintroduce themselves. To me, it wasn't necessary other than to show that Sierra ain't talking to Rennie. Rennie had beef and wants to explain the situation with her and her man. Zayn and his girl is there, and Zayn is saying some nonsense like he's not in DC, he's not Kirk, he's not out here cheating on his girl no more, so nobody should associate him with all that. And I'm just sitting here talking about, do y'all realize that these are grown men and their relationship y'all are talking about? You over here pointing fingers. Kirk and Rasheeda has been the main topic of buffoonery and infidelity for a very long time in several seasons because of how bad it was and how horrible it was. And us having seen Kirk's ass in a damn hot tub with Bambi prior to this nonsense, and him treating her bad when she got pregnant with another baby. Just all this crazy stuff, and her and his mother-in-law, Miss Charlene, running over his damn motorbike because she was just mad about how he was doing his baby girl, her baby girl. We get from there to last season, they tried to take the heat off of them and then point fingers at Mendici and Yandy, saying that Medici is out here in the streets slinging his thing with every damn body. And one of the things he was slinging it was with one of Jasmine's co-workers at the damn club. And Kirk and Rasheeda were very quick to jump on that bandwagon because they're tired of people talking about them. So they wanted to put a spotlight on Medici and Yandy's situation. We'll talk about that later in the next scene. But here we are with Zayn now saying he's not like them. He's not as good as them. But Zayn's ass last season was over there trying to tell his wife, go talk to Rasheeda. Bitch, I don't, Zayn just seems very immature to me. I'm hoping that he'll do the same thing that Jock would did since he's new in this franchise. Maybe over time, maturity will show and it could help him. People can make mistakes, people can get better with time. But let's just see what happens. Then we get to Spice meeting up with Rasheeda. First of all, who was Spice's team? Some member in Spice's team needs to get fired. I don't know what kind of haircut. I know Spice is known for blue hair. We all know Spice for the lady, you know, the Jamaican pop star, not pop star, reggaeton. I don't know. I keep forgetting. Dance hall types, music making person, and we know her for having blue hair. We know this, which is okay. But what is this on her head? She's over there taking doing her photo shoot for her diss song that she did in response to Bam's after season 12 had ended. When Bam went on and talked about everybody that she was having issues with, she talked about she targeted Spice and she said, I go Suya on that Spice. And if y'all don't know, Suya is an African meat on a stick. Sia is a spice that gets put on it. But it was interesting that she chose that line. It was a nice bar on Bambi's side. But Bambi also talked about Kirk and Rasheeda and their 11 babies and 11 this and 11 infidelities, all that stuff. And Rasheeda don't ever know what she does wrong to people. She acts like she took Yeti's place, but I don't know. I didn't see. I didn't hear. Rasheeda don't ever know what she does to somebody. She don't ever know. She's always oblivious when somebody has an issue with her. And she's saying, I don't know why Bambi would do that. Well, watching the show, we saw Spice say that Bambi only had 11 listeners on Spotify and you and Kirk thought it was a funny thing. Scrappy walked backwards. None of you said anything to defend her. Y'all stood there and let Spice dog her when she was not around, and y'all supposed to be her friend, and she's supposed to be cool with you. That was the reason why she went and put y'all on the track and said some nonsense. Cause y'all weren't, nobody said anything to defend her. I understand Scrappy not saying anything, but if she's supposed to be cool and friends with Rasheeda and Kirk, they didn't say anything to her. They didn't say anything, so she got at them too. But Rasheeda also takes this moment because she doesn't have many people in the group that get along with her. Rasheeda is not a very, aside from her relationship with Kirk and her dedication to Kirk and her kids, she don't have no dedication to anybody else, and maybe that's okay for her. But when you're on this franchise and certain people are having issues with you, I know she got into it with Yandy because she got caught up with Yandy and Erica Banks and that whole scene at the outside the ciphers of the A music that they did season 12, where Jasmine's friend was confronting Medici and Yandy's about infidelity, and Rasheeda was there, and it didn't seem like she did anything or said anything. Meanwhile, Yandy's standing up for her with Jasmine, and she just looks dumb for protecting somebody that's not protecting her. But Rasheeda must have watched the season. She must have seen that shit. So she knows she looks crazy and she knows Two-Face. So it seems like she's here to do some damage control, slash not take accountability, slash not apologize, slash say I didn't do nothing wrong. Oh, bitches want to talk about me. I didn't do nothing, all that nonsense. So her and Spice are just talking about that. And one of the things Rasheeda and Spice sit down to talk about, in addition to Bambi, is what happened with the conversation with Erica and Yandy being present and her face looking flabbergasted when Yandy now said Erica wasn't lying. They all came together to try and confront Rasheeda to see if Rasheeda made up a completely different reality about what occurred in that scene. And Rasheeda got caught. Rashida got caught for lying. She got caught and she looked crazy. And she just got defensive. She was like, I wasn't there. And I heard somebody got clocked in the eye. And that's not something that you said. And it's just, I don't know, did I? That's how she responded to Erica. She was very defensive. And you can tell that she got caught. And Yandy was there to observe it. And when Yandy had pulled her off to the side to discuss it, she did nothing but point the finger and say that Yandy needs to go ahead and worry about what's going on with Medici because she done heard something in the street. She deflected. She still ain't take no responsibility for it, nor has she apologized. So she's here saying they all want to be mad. They all want to be mad for no reason. Rasheeda, you are the reason. I'm sorry, but you are. So we see Scrappy's whole line as, because Scrappy is a handsome dude and Scrappy is a known rapper. He's made his name known in the music industry. But every time he shows up, I will say this, the girls that Scrappy does end up with, a lot of them are attractive, very beautiful, and well put together. He just doesn't know how to keep them, right? But because he's a mama's boy, he's not going to grow up, and Mama D would never let him be happy with another woman because that's her son, and she's going to lay claim to him. He's okay for him to have sex and make babies with different people in the palace, but he's not. She would never let him marry somebody and have a peaceful home. She just would never allow that. But the new girl he brought here by name of Brittany, who's a realtor, she seems like a very beautiful woman. She seems like a mature woman. She's in her 40s, I think, in a scene that we see at the end of the show, which I'm gonna get to, the crash out. She's in her 40s. She might be in her 40s. I don't know. Maybe she was just taking a dig at her and called her to say she's in her 40s. But they met when both were going through a divorce. And Scrappy was trying to talk to her at the time, but because of how messy things were, and the fact that he went and made a baby in a threesome, and she got that in the media, they chose to take a pause, right? They meet up today for Scrappy's Cowboy song that was a bop. It sounds like a bop. To do music video, and she's in it, and they're doing it, and he looks good in it. But they're talking off to the side, and she basically tells him, "I think that you're my girlfriend now, so I think that you and I are exclusive." That's how I look at it. We're exclusive, and Scrap lies to her ass. and says, I feel that way too. And I'm gonna tell you why I know Scrap lied, because we're gonna talk about the scene at the end of the crash out with his threesome baby mama. Okay. But he's lying already. And I'm wondering to myself, Scrappy, don't you know people gonna watch the show? She's gonna see this. And she's gonna see that your ass been dipping it because you were the way that Scrappy moves, he's always sleeping with multiple people. He's sleeping with Erica, he was sleeping with Bambi at the same time. Then he married Bambi while he's still sleeping with Erica. Then he proposed to Erica at some point while he was still sleeping with Shay. And then he's telling Shay we're together, we're besties while he's still trying to get back Erica. Scrappy cannot ever stay alone and ever enjoy himself, and he misleads a lot of women. And when he gets in trouble with these women, he always acts oblivious, like he don't know what the hell he did to stir the pot. This girl is looking at you and she's saying, are we exclusive? You're saying yes, but we didn't find out later on your ass ain't exclusive. Your penis at least is not exclusive. Your penis is not, maybe your brain is exclusive to her, maybe your heart is exclusive to her, but your penis is for everybody. It's not exclusive at all. It's, buy one, get one free by the next girl. Then we get to Bambi bringing in Rayface. And y'all know, if y'all watch my previous review, Rayface and Bambi have since broken up because Rayface had a whole wife and kids and said he was just using Bambi to be on the TV because he himself is also an aspiring rapper. Do I listen to his songs? Hell no. But somebody said he was a bootleg Future. Y'all tell me if he looks like a bootleg Future. But what I'm saying is watching Bambi in this scene bring Rayface to show him off to Jessica, and looking for wedding dresses, and her saying to him, I love you, and he's saying, I love you too. And Jessica trying to invite people over to her retreat, her wellness retreat that she's planning, and knowing that they're all, Bambi doesn't get along with some of the cast members, Rasheeda don't get along with some of the cast members. And I'm sitting there thinking, this whole scene with Rayface being here and us knowing what happened at the end is just sad because Bambi looks so happy. She's smiling, she's cheesing, she's saying all wonderful things about this man on TV. He knows how to be a real man. He brings out my feminine side. I don't need to tell him how to do anything. He handles everything he's supposed to handle. I'm like, I'm listening to all this, and she seems swoon. She insists, she's like, that's her fiance, proposed to her. She's now giving up the poo poo. And to see all of this and her trying on wedding dresses for the sake of him, while this is Spice and all the other cast members, and for us to see how things ended up at the end of it, it's just very sad to see it this way. Just saying. So we get to Karlie, messy ass Karlie. Karlie is always going through it with some man every season, and sometimes I think she plans it. Now, her last victim, or her most recent victim, is Tilo. And everybody in the third, including Zell, were trying to let Cardi know that Tilo had been cheating on her with several different women. And Karlie defended him, protected him, and I remember, if y'all remember when she first brought Tilo around, she told everybody that she was in love with him, that he is her person, and that she's gonna be with him and he's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants to do because he has money. Y'all go back and look at the episodes. That is precisely what this woman said, that he can do whatever he wants so long as he had money. So to see her now in these scene with Saucy and Rennie, and she's crying and she's saying there's a lot that we don't know. There's a lot that she hasn't let us know about, that he had a alleged domestic violence issue. And she's talking to Rennie and Saucy, who have experienced that, have been victims of domestic abuse. And I'm looking at her, and to be honest, as much as I want Karlie to find love, I do not feel like Karlie has ever taken the right steps to get the right love she wants for herself. I don't even like what the hell she did to her whole body and her face, because Karlie was very beautiful in the beginning of the season. So she started messing with everything that God gave her and ended up looking botched. But I'm sitting up here seeing this scene, and I'm having a hard time having the same empathy for her because I also know that Karlie slept with other people's men. I remember her sleeping with Tommy Lee's Scrap Dillion, and she was okay with it. I remember her um, doing different flirtatious things with Jock when she knew that Jock and Kendra were serious. Karma always comes back to hit people that do other people wrong. And while I feel like Karlie can choose to be better, I just feel like Karlie wants to be married so bad that she picks the wrong person. I'm sorry this is happening to her, but I always feel like she gets herself in it. Zell was trying to warn her, but I already feel like she knew. She just didn't want people to focus on that because she wanted her marriage so bad. So she was willing to ignore what he was doing. to the public. But off to the side, when we hear that you leaving your phone in his car, or backpacks in his car, earpods in his car, so you can track it and air tag it, you knew what the hell that man was doing this entire time. It's just now it got to the point to where, they're going through a bad breakup now, and there's a legal situation going on. Rennie in this scene also explains the dynamic between her and her man. And she says that after the rap music came out and there was question about the baby's paternity, that he now came to her and he was started accusing her and yelling at her for cheating and saying that she's cheating on him and da 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 da. The thing about it that I wanted to say in this scene is there is a form of gaslighting that people do sometimes that I don't respect. That's like you need to just go under you need to be hit over hell. You need to hit by a bus. You're just not good in your spirit. Because Randy said that I can see videos of this man cheating. One song comes out online and you want to now accuse me of something you yourself was doing. That is a form of gaslighting because he just wants to say if she did cheat, that he can say, okay, we're even. We're never going to be even because when you cheated, I didn't know about it. I may cheat on you in response to you because I'm being malicious and vindictive and my feelings are hurt. But you opened this damn door for us to be in this situation. But he could have simply said, okay, let's get a DNA test. But he went so far beyond to try and accuse her of that. And I hope she recognizes that he was just gaslighting her. That's what he was doing. He got caught. He feels bad. He's cautious, is there. And if he would catch her doing the same thing, he might feel a little bit better. But she made it clear that she ain't cheat. That's the only thing I want to touch on this is her going live and him making that accusation, knowing that he's the one that's been stepping out. All right, so they did everything they could to keep this crash out scene to the very end and keep us in suspense. Because I caught secondhand embarrassment for every black woman on this show and every black woman in this country when I was watching this nonsense with Shakira and Scrappy. First of all, they're dressed in robes, right? And she looks like she's wearing a lingerie type outfit. What that tells me is they had a fuck session. And after the fuck session, when she already got his, he already got hers, she already got hers, he already got his, is when she now decides that she wants to bring this conversation up. Now, Scrappy's on camera, so peep that. He's on camera. He'd already brought Brittany on there, the realtor, to let us know that he let her know that she's exclusively with her. Now, the timelines and when they copy and paste this scenes could be off, but the way that Shakira is speaking and what she's going to say, it seems like whether they cut and paste in the timelines, Scrappy was still in the wrong with both of them. Now, here's the thing. Shakira is on here saying we had this baby in a threesome, right? And Scrappy wants to make it clear that we didn't have this baby in a threesome. Why would he want to do that? Because he's embarrassed. He doesn't ever want his child to come up here, watch this show one day, and hear that it was a threesome. It was supposed to be a one night stand and one night fun, and that's how he came along because his father was being irresponsible. He's going to have to see this one day. And Shakira has no shame. She's just talking and running her mouth irresponsibly, right? So I got embarrassed from that scene. Now let's move on to several other scenes that embarrassed me about this conversation. Scrappy was now talking about his son, letting her know that he's been on the titty too long. He needs to start getting off the titty. And that, when he carries him, he looks at him somehow. Shakira now says, I'm not going to protect you anymore because Shakira is going to now put him on blast because she's feeling some type of way. And she's going to tell us why she's feeling some type of way. She's like, you're not around enough. He does not know you. And Scrappy's like, he don't need me or want me, or want me in this stage in his life. That don't mean that you can't still be here. He can't smell your scent. You can't carry him. Even if he wants his mom's tits, kids do get used to somebody who's around them with time. And he's not around. He doesn't come around. So what he ends up saying is, what she ends up saying is, I'm not going to come here and I'm not going to keep protecting you. I'm not going to cap. You are an okay dad. And Scrap is like, wow. And I'm like, I don't know why Scrap is shocked because it seems like this is the same thing that Erica used to say. Erica Dixon. This is the same thing that Bambi says, that while Scrappy may be a good father and he does love his kids, there's some things that he drops the ball on. And while he may be giving Shakira money for his son, and maybe he's popping in every now and then for his son, most of the time he pops in is because he wants some ass. So Shakira is sitting up there talking about, after she said he's an okay dad, this girl's on camera talking about, we had a threesome. That's how I made this baby. Because you be calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning, the Melafiniona time, talking about, hey, baby mama, can I come over and get a massage? And she's smiling while she's saying it. And you look at how Scrappy's face is looking at her, and you could tell he was embarrassed. He didn't want all this said on camera. But she was in her feelings. And she said, this, you over here, coming here so I can ride this thing. I can pop on it, do a flip on it. I can do the splits on it. I can ride it. I can do everything on here. And you know, I'm going to do this right. I'm good in every way. My sex is popping. My life is popping. I'm a mother of how many kids, and I'm doing what I need to do for myself. Scrappy asked her to move down here. So she's anticipating that if she moved down there for you and to bring the son over, moved it, uprooted her life. You're calling her all the time to come have sex, but she's so stupid. She said he calls her at 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning is booty call hours. If Scrappy would have said, I need you to move closer to me so I can be closer to my son, I would be like, you need to move close to me so you can be halfway to your son. I'm not uprooting my life. But something tells me the impression this girl had was if she moved her life, Scrappy is a known star on TV. She felt like her punani was great enough to keep that man. And she thought that since she had the baby, it may lead into a relationship. And she was willing to pack up everything, move closer to him. And he continued to screw her. And Scrappy goes online. He actually made it very clear. He said, I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. This man said I stuck, I think, in the wrong place, but she got some good vajayjay. At least he gave her props there. But when she's sitting up there talking about do you let this girl Brittany know, because she doesn't sell no houses. Did you let her know that when you come over here after you go on a date with her, you come to the house and you over here eat this poon poon? Do you tell her all of that? I'm like, so he goes on a date with the girl that's not gonna give up some ass, the one that he takes seriously, and he comes after he's with her and he visualized her while he has sex with you. Is that what you're claiming that he does? Scrappy did her wrong in this way. He knows that girl wants him because she was throwing herself at him so hard. It was so hard to watch. Like, if y'all see season 12 when she was on there, it was so difficult to watch her and how hard she was trying to be with this man. And she was doing everything that she wanted to do to make sure he looked at her as everything except the threesome, right? And when she moved out here for him, he continued to dip into her while he's courting somebody else in a serious way. And it was the saddest thing because Shakira looked visibly hurt, but she's not gonna cry again. So she's just gonna turn into crazy girl. Now, Shakira is the whole fan. She's the whole fan. Because y'all remember watching Basketball Wives and Evelyn's argument with OG, patting her pussy, talking about I got A1, I got this credit. She watched those shows and Evelyn went viral for that pussy pat. Why is Shakira doing it? She followed Scrappy because Scrappy had got up because he was like, I'm not going to argue with you. And I'm not going to sit here with you just talking to me crazy, saying that I only make, give me pennies for you, only give me pennies for our son. You don't show up for our son. You basically don't come over here unless you want to F me. And you over here dating this 43-year-old bitch that she's just using you. Shakira fell for Scrap. She fell for him and she was still sleeping with him. But girl, she was sleeping with him in hours that he was making clear to you was just us doing us, enjoying ourselves like we did on the night of the threesome and made this baby. Scrap is walking out because he's not going to argue with her and because he's probably embarrassed by all the things that she was saying about him and to him. She's screaming, you want to see crazy. She's following him out the house. He's walking in the car. Security showing up. She's shouting, you want to see crazy, calling him all sorts of bitches. And he's driving off and she starts screaming, don't come over here. You come get this pussy every time, bitch. And she's yelling at him that. Could she feel some type of way? After all these times of sleeping with you, he's still going to choose her and publicly claim her online. But he's not going to tell people he's still sleeping with you on the side. Shakira is dumb in a lot of ways because I think that she deluded herself into thinking that how do you think that this man is going to take you seriously when you made a baby via threesome? Because from what I understand it, she says it's a threesome, he didn't say it's a threesome. But the way that things played out, the story goes that he was sleeping with her friend in the room. And no condoms, by the way, y'all. Then after the friend leaves, she comes in as a second one to hop on the same penis that was used in the friend's punan with no condom. And that's how she got pregnant. So you hopped on a dick that was just inside your friend's pussy so you can get some too. It was like a train that they ran on Scrappy, and she got pregnant at the end of it because he didn't bust it in her. and you hop on with the juices that your friend left on him. The whole situation is nasty. Did you put that thing in your mouth too? While you're being freaky after your friend thing just wrote it? Did y'all share? It was just nasty. I don't, the whole topic and how this baby was made is just embarrassing. The thought of you now thinking that when you're willing to go to that level, because he thought about it as a man, I just put this thing in your friend, and she just did all sorts of dirty things to me. And you gonna come up here and you gonna hop on the same thing to continue, and you probably put that thing in your mouth too. So you all you licking all the juices and stuff I didn't put in your friend too. And we just made this baby because you're that freaky. We're not using condoms. You got pregnant. There is no reality that exists where this man would ever take her seriously. She's a freak. He's there to enjoy her freakiness, but he would never take her seriously. And I think she knows that. So she's embarrassed. And she tried because she felt like this baby was here. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna ever tell somebody to have an abortion because that's just wrong because I would abort my baby. But she brought this kid into a very fucked up situation for him to look at you as anything other than a jump off. And he treats her like one. He's just trying to make the best of a bad situation because the baby's involved. But I think that for him to continue doing that, he can't be sleeping with this girl. And you can't be telling her to move down here and change her whole life to be here. Like, that's crazy. That's not, she's not going to be okay with just somebody sleeping with you on the side while you claim everybody else. That's just dumb. It's dumb. But that's how the season starts. And I don't know how much you're going to pay her, but I'm embarrassed for all women because of her behavior. It's really just sad. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.